What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the Samurai Sports Network. And today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're not going to be talking directly about the Miami Dolphins, but they are going to be included. Now, if you guys haven't heard already, it would be impossible if you haven't heard it if you're in the sports world. Mike McCarthy has been fired. He's no longer the coach of the Green Bay Packers. And this is something that's really interesting to me, and I wanted to talk about on the channel for the simple fact that they fired Mike McCarthy and they're bringing in Joe Philbin, who was the offensive coordinator, to be the interim head coach, which isn't necessarily an upgrade in my eyes. I don't really see Joe Philbin as an upgrade, but I guess take it for what you want it to be. So we go through this, and of course, a lot of people are wondering, did Aaron Rodgers have a say in this? Why was he fired? I was one of those that said, why was he fired? Because when you look at the record of Mike McCarthy, it's not half bad. And I'm going to bring it up for myself just to give you guys a little bit of a reference here. But his record really isn't that bad, and he hasn't been horrible as an NFL coach. He's 125, 77, and 2, so he has a 6.18 win percentage, which isn't horrible. It's really, really not that bad. He won a Super Bowl in 2010, going 10-6. The next year, he went 15-1. The year before he won the Super Bowl, he went 11-5. And then he went 11-5 after the 15-1 season, then 8-7, 12-4, 10-6, 10-6, 7-9, and 4-7-1. Obviously, it's not the greatest record of the past couple of years, but it hasn't been horrible, and it hasn't been enough to warrant a fire. I think that a lot of what the GM, I don't remember the GM's name for the Green Bay Packers, but a lot of what he did and a lot of what he put out for not only Mike McCarthy, but the Packers fans wasn't adequate enough. They didn't give the Packers a lot of the stuff that they needed. I mean, even this year, they got rid of Jordy Nelson, someone that they could have kept for Aaron Rodgers as that guy. They definitely could have kept him. And they brought in Jimmy Graham as a replacement. And yeah, Jimmy Graham's nice. He's a good tool. He isn't what he used to be when he was in New Orleans with Drew Brees, which is why they ended up trading him for Max Unger. And now Jimmy Graham, his contract ran out with Seattle, so now he's a Green Bay Packer. He doesn't have the same chemistry, and that takes a while to build up chemistry that Jordy Nelson had with Aaron Rodgers. And Jordy Nelson hasn't had a spectacular year. I mean, he killed the Dolphins in week 3, technically killed them. I mean, it wasn't a great game covering him, and he did have a good first half. But that's hard. For a quarterback, you build a relationship with your receivers. I mean, we see it with, personally, as Dolphin fans, we see it with Miami Dolphins quarterback Ryan Tannehill and Kenny Stills. Whenever they're on the field together, whether you like it or not, whether you're a Tannehill fan or not, they have a chemistry. They have a certain thing between them in which they know where each other is going to be. They know where, Tannehill knows where Stills is going to want the ball. And the same thing with Devontae Parker. When he's on the field, Ryan knows where and when Devontae is going to want the ball, where he's going to be with the ball. And it's gotten better. Obviously, a lot of people said, Ryan Tannehill's deep ball is bad. We drafted Devontae Parker, a guy who's known for the deep ball. What is that supposed to do? And it improved. And you always want that. So the Packers took that away from their star quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, and then he signed an extension. Now, this is another reason why I say that the Mike McCarthy firing wasn't warranted. Aaron Rodgers didn't give his team a chance. And this sounds weird. As a viewer, you might be wondering, how did he not give his team a chance? Aaron Rodgers signed, I believe, the biggest quarterback deal, not guaranteed money. Obviously, we know that's Kirk Cousins, but the biggest quarterback deal in NFL history. I believe it was $144 million, if I'm not mistaken. It might be less. It probably actually definitely is less than that. But he did sign for a big penny. He signed for a pretty penny. I just forget what the exact details are. And it's something that a lot of people have brought up in discussion because a lot of people don't like Aaron Rodgers for whatever reason, I don't know. But they bring that up in the Aaron Rodgers-Tom Brady debate because they say, look at Tom. He takes less money so that he can be surrounded by pieces. Granted, they don't really surround him by great pieces, but they surround him by pieces. They surround him by good draft capital, good draft talent. When they need to go out and sign someone like a Stephon Gilmore that practically won them the AFC Championship game last year on a great play. After a really good throw by Blake Bortles, he knocked it down. They go out and sign those people. They had the space to re-sign Dante Hightower to his big deal so he didn't go to a Tennessee or didn't go to a Miami Dolphins team. So he gives them a chance. And Aaron Rodgers signing a big deal doesn't necessarily give them a chance. It takes away money that is given to that quarterback position that you could have given to anywhere else. So I don't think that the Mike McCarthy firing was warranted for that reason. Well, that's one of the reasons. The other one is he hasn't been a horrible coach. I think that the second reason that I mentioned earlier was that the Packers haven't given the talent a chance. As an organization in general, they haven't done much to give them a chance to improve and give them a chance to do things outside of the realm of, just competing and relying on Aaron Rodgers all the time. It is a two-sided sword, or however you want to call it. Aaron Rodgers, I believe personally, is at blame for a lot of the Packers' issues. And I believe the Packers themselves are at blame for a lot of Packers' issues. I think they wanted to go and use Mike McCarthy as a scapegoat. They'll learn that Joe Philbin is going to be a worse interim head coach than Mike McCarthy would have been as an interim head coach for the last 4 or 5 games of the season. And then Mike McCarthy will probably go to a team like the Browns where they have a lot of young talent, or maybe he goes somewhere else. Maybe he goes college. Maybe he retires. Who knows? I could see him going to the Browns. I think it's a good fit, but you obviously never know. The likes of college coaches could come out. It's rumored that Lincoln Riley doesn't want to come out for any job unless it's the Cowboys, so you probably won't see him go to the Browns. But of course, you could pair him back up with Baker Mayfield, and that would be some fun to watch for Dolphins fans. For Dolphins fans and NFL fans in general. But like I said at the beginning, like I said all the time, I don't think that the Mike McCarthy firing was warranted. I don't think he deserved it. And I think that the Packers organization will learn that while they're trying to find their man, while they're trying to find their Sean McVay to I guess make a quote there and to make a comparison, it's going to be a lot more difficult than they thought. And it's not going to be a great time for fans in general. So I hope you guys did very much enjoy this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe down below. I will see you guys next time. And as always, peace.